Okay, I want to speak right now I'm going to speak the truth and only God's truth right now, because I'm not going to sugarcoat things right now. I'm going to speak from God's perspective. And I'm not saying God's perspective, but I'm going to speak through God's way, because this is true stuff. Spiritual warfare is actually real. Spiritual attacks is actually real stuff. Spiritual attacks are actually real. If you notice, when I was around my colleagues, there is no way that they have this stuff going on actually on their skin. There's like a little heat rash or whatever it is. But I know that the spiritual warfare or spiritual attacks is real stuff. And what I'm saying is that this world that we live in, a lot of people go through greed, lust, envy, and pride. And number one thing is pride. People just think about themselves. They don't think about other people, lack of compassion. There's a lot of pride in this earth, and I'm just letting you know, because I'm speaking the God's truth away of what's going on. And to be honest, the majority of the people live in unhappiness, or live lost. Like, they're very lost. They have no direction or anything. And what I'm speaking today is like, have you noticed like the earth right now in our nation or everything is like burning fire of hot, like fire everywhere. What happened to Maui? There was just a lot of fire. And you notice that there's just something going on, and there's a huge message from God that people are just not seeing. And what's going on, especially like on Maui, like it's significantly crazy to believe that how like the only church that stand, like the Maui Church of Christ, did not got burned. Nothing happened to it, but everything around it was set on fire. That's leading you a sign that things have lost in faith, and like things happen, but God has given a sign out there for many reasons, especially what happened to the Cathedral of France. There was a damage going to that cathedral. I don't know if it was a bomb or whatever happened there, but how come that the living cross, nothing had been happened to that, but everything else was damaged? There's just a significant signs that God is letting you know, and stuff are happening is real stuff. And these things that are happening is because God is angry, and you know, he is letting you know that this stuff is real, and stuff are going to happen, because the world is so in huge pride and so much ego, and things are just been going with the different direction. And the reason being why things are going a different direction is because people are just thinking about themselves, their own pride, their own ego, their own lust. And they say that they're connected, but you need to have a connection with God spiritually, not just by religion, but spiritually, because many people go by this religion type of way, but they're not spiritually connected with their Father God in heaven. To be honest, right now stuff are happening for many reasons, and I thought I'd share this because I spiritually did get attacked. I felt a lot of fire yesterday. I don't know what was going on. I was a lot of fire. I lost I was, and it's kind of like a spiritual warfare when I had the right person and then the other person intervenes the wrong time or whatever it is, but stuff happens. But God gives you that solitude to be alone, to protect you, because he doesn't know what spirit relies on that person, right? Because God is protecting you, preventing you anything that's not sent by God. And also that you spending time alone, you see things spiritually from God, and God give you a huge discernment, a lot of discernment on what meets other people in the eye, right? There's a huge discernment what meets the eye of the other person, and it's a grateful and a beautiful thing being close to God. And right now, I don't know, I just thought I'd send a message like God got angry one day with Noah the ark. He, in the Bible, he was describing that he lost hope with mankind, but he saw Noah. He saw something in him that he gave hope to humanity. And he still does give hope to humanity with good hearts, you know? And it's crazy to believe that we still live in this world that still stuck in their old ways, and it shouldn't be that way. We just drive and get closer spiritually, positively, especially with God, because he is the only one that's going to help you. And I'm going to speak what I'm going to say, that how, like, if you think about the mankind of this destruction, like how many different types of religion, different types of politics, and how much humankind themselves, they end up fighting and fighting and fighting for nonsense. They're actually fighting from nonsense. They're fighting their own greed, their own pride, their own envy, you know? You think that is sent by God? No, it's not. It's the greed, the black heart. It's not of a good heart. It's not of a heart of God, you know? And God sees all those things, you know? And actually what goes around, karma is a huge player of the universe. Like whatever you expose out there, it comes back in so many forms. Karma is the real aspect from Christ. God does signify whatever you lay out, it comes back, because it is the balance of life. And you know, God's angels do seek justice. We can't, what we see in the world, especially right now, we see a lot of injustice, a lot of corruption, a lot of things that are not right. But we have to speak authority of God's voice and with God's authority, because this world right now is so stuck in their old ways and sticking in their own concept of their own selfishness, to be honest with you. And I'm speaking the truth because I'm just so fed up, to be honest with you. Like, to me, happening to me spiritually, like when I get very close with God, I do get attacked. As you can see, like it's not, this is no joke. And God is trying to protect me of any type of thing that is not sent by him, and for so many reasons. And like I said, that this world right now is literally in the wrong path right now. The world is backwards. Everything good is evil, and everything evil is so good, right? It's not. You have to pay the price, and you got to remember that anything that's standing there is not sent by God. You have to think with a huge discernment with God. And what's going on this earth is a huge impact. And you know, people, the children of God, or God's people, we do feel the fiery spirit. We do get mad, we get frustrated, we speak authority, and the only authority is God in heaven. And what I'm saying this is, like, I do get tired. I do get tired of this world. I do get tired of being empathic, of feeling other people's emotions, when in reality they haven't been close with God. And I have to stick with my authority with God and in his own words. And it's tiring of what I see. Like, everything what society has brought is just brought a lot of destruction for mankind. Like I said, that the fallen angel Lucifer was one of the most beautiful angels, can transform any spirit to man or anything, because this is how the world plays, and you have to play the role of being in the right path, not in the wrong path, because there is a price to pay at the end. And to be real with you, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna speak like the Christian religion way. I'm gonna speak the God's way, in the spiritual way. I'm speaking the spiritual way with God, because there are so many religions, right? There are so many churches of God, right? But not many of them go spiritual with God. Not any of them are very close with God spiritually. Is seeing him as your father, accepting him, having him in your heart. There's a difference than all those churches and religion, because many people go, but they don't have the God in their heart and being. So there are so many religions that we practice, but spirituality at the end is the spiritual connection with God that we have, and it's the truth that I speak. And to be honest, I tend to be seeing things that meets the eye, that it has to be done, because whatever's going on spiritually, it is a warfare, it's a fight. But God, like, the solitude is such a beautiful thing, because it protects you, everything around you, from friends, places, and things, because you don't know what could happen in that place. Why God took you away from the place. You don't know why God took you away from that certain type of person. God sees more what's on the eye with that person. God sees what's behind over the years that could happen down the road. There are so many things that could happen, and there's so many things that are happening right now. And like I said, mankind himself created so many different type of separation to create war, but where's the peace? And you know, God is the peace of love and compassion and empathy. But does God get angry? Yes, he does get angry, and he gives you a sign. And what like happened to those places that I mentioned, God gives you a sign what's happening, and people are losing the connection, you know. I've seen so many people talk about him, right? But where's the spirituality, the connection? Having him in your heart is the one thing, because many people portray of an act, but the spirituality, the connection is a different level. There's so many things that I keep saying. It's ironic though that it's okay to be different. Like I said, I'm not trying to like be like anything else. Being different is something awesome, because you're not trying to please anything but God. Only God is the only way, the truth of life. Like they say in John, God is the only the way, the truth, and the life, and that's it. But mankind himself, people tend to be distracted. People tend to forget about him when they're going through wrong times, when they're having a hard difficulty, hardship, or when they going to really huge rock bottom. That's when they think of him. That's when they pray for him. That's when they seek his name. But when they are living the well life, or when they're distracted, let's say, they don't even think of him. They don't even appreciate him. They don't even have a thought of him at all. And this is the reason what is going on right now. So many things are going on, and God sees it. And like I said, it's just having that spiritual connection. And all this stuff is happening for a reason, you know. God is giving, it's spread his thing to happen for so many things, because he meets the eye. He knows what's going on. And like I said, it's so many things that are going on, but like, you can't just judge also people book by its cover. You can't see through there, because you don't know what goes behind closed doors. Let's be real, you don't know what's behind closed doors, and you rather let God take of it, because God is the only one who's going to judge at the end. God is the only answer who's going to judge at the very end. And this is the truth that I'm speaking, and this is what's going on, and everything that I say is speaking in God's name, in God's way only. And I hope you take it and resonate with it as it is. Thank you.